Ryan, you've been in the building now a few weeks. How's it been? How are you settling in?
Yeah, it's been good, yeah. I've obviously settled in very well. I think credit to all the staff that have made me feel dead welcome, and so have the players. They've been a breath of fresh air to work with. We've tried to put a lot into them, which is important, but I was cautious I didn't put too much into them, and they're forgetting things, so it's been on a daily basis, but it's been excellent. As I say, everyone around's been very good to me, which you probably would have thought as the head coach, but learning me things and what I need to know about the football club as well, and in terms of personnel of players. So yeah, it's been good, mate. Really enjoyed it, and looking forward to the weekend.
Has the timing been is it fallen quite nicely in terms of having the international break to enable you to get some time on the field?
It has, yeah, but we're obviously cautious as well, the lads, in terms of, the 36 games in, most of them. There's a few lads coming back from injury. But yeah, we want to implement some things what I want to implement as the head coach and going forward, which has been good. And we've had the lads in the meeting rooms, we've discussed personal things, we've discussed how we want them to play in and out of possession, which is important. And the focus has been on potentially, obviously scoring more goals, of course, and getting more bodies in the box. So it's stuff that we've been working on, which has been nice, and credit to the boys, they've took on all the information well. Hopefully we can bring it to fruition on Saturday.
We were at training last week, and we felt there was a real bounce in everyone's step. Have you felt that amongst the players? Have you felt?
Yeah, well, I have that. That's me as a manager and as a head coach. I make sure that people come to work with a smile on the face, and that's the staff and people in the canteen, whoever it may be, especially the players. I want them to come in and enjoy training, and that's what we've done. That day was a bit of a down day because we'd worked them hard on a Tuesday, and we had 11v11 on a Thursday. So the Wednesday was more of a little bit of a smile on the face. There was a little bit of kitty for the lads who won, and then we went Nando's and had some food with the group. So it was just a little bit of camaraderie between the group. But there'd still been a few out there trying to hit the crossbar if we didn't end it soon. But again, that's what we want, smiles on the face. You're coming into work, you're representing Wigan Athletic Football Club, and they've been brilliant in doing that.
A couple of lads obviously working there were away on international duty, and a proud moment for young James Carragher representing Malta, the senior squad for the first time, and Dale Taylor obviously with Northern Ireland as well, and Toby Sibbick. Great for them all.
Yeah, I said to them this morning, I think young James to get a call up to Malta and to perform the way he did in them 2 games was like, it was like a Rolls Royce. I think in the games his recovery runs were certainly sprints, and coming up against Lewandowski and top international footballers, it looked like he'd been there for a long time. So credit where credit due to him, because this time last year he'd had an injury and he had to force his way back into the team, and he'd been an outstanding performer. And when you're an outstanding performer, along with the rest of the international lads, you get recognition, and that's what they've done. And Dale's obviously played for Northern Ireland before, and Tobe's obviously been away with his national team, but we give James a little bit of a ripple of small and a congratulations for his first caps, and what 2 caps to earn, especially against Finland and Poland, and there's more to obviously come. So yeah, it's been excellent for them, and I said, any opportunities they get to get international level, they make sure they take it, and he's certainly done that.
Just looking at the group in terms of the game at the weekend, we saw Tyrese Francois back on the grass. Great news for him. Yeah,
he's been excellent. Yeah, great kid, great footballer. We know all about him. He can break things up. He's only dainty, but his vision with his left foot's very good. He can pass through the thirds, and he can land on second ball. So yeah, it's been pleasing to have him on the grass, along with Cess has been out there today the last few days, which has been good. Yeah, we've had a big bulk of lads who have been training. I think it's been 23, 24, including the goalkeepers, which is always nice for me as the head coach to pick from. So yeah, looking forward to seeing them in action.
A couple that have missed out recently, Baba Adiko, Joe Hungbo. Is there any update on the pair?
Yeah, Joe's trained as well, obviously. Sorry, he's been back in the fold. He's been training. Baba's been a problem with his calf, obviously. But I think my first day in, I was told that he weren't going to train, and we assessed him, and he'd had a slight problem with his calf. So again, he's on recovery table in terms of hopefully maybe one day next week we'll get him back on the grass. But because the squad's thick as it is now, there's no real need to rush him back. So we'll take our time. Joe, the physio, will look after him, and yeah, hopefully he's back soon.
So plenty of options looking ahead, and Chris sees in your thinking after a positive performance coming off the bench at Charlton.
Yeah, definitely, he was excellent coming off the bench at Charlton. So was Ronan. The lads who come on, and that's no disrespect to the lads who went off, but that's what you'd have a squad for. Robbo, when he come on left side centre half, was excellent as well. But you know, they're all chomping at the bit when a new head coach comes in the building. It's, you know, they all want to impress, and I've told them it's a clean slate. They'll impress me, and if they impress me, they'll get opportunities and make sure they take them. So that's for all the boys. You know, the lads who we mentioned, you know, Chris C being excellent. You know what he is and what he can do. He's a goal scorer, and yeah, I just want to see them shine now. I want them to perform on a Saturday or a Tuesday evening when given the opportunity to hopefully win some games.
And looking ahead to Barnsley, they lost the manager recently. What are you expecting from them? What's the challenge that they'll pose?
Well, what I will say, they've got some good players. You know, there's a lot of good players. You know, I know Connor. I'm on a course with Connor. He's a great lad. He's new to it. He's going to try and put his ideas in. I mean, we're over there on Saturday watching him live. So, yeah, but I think, you know, we try and pay the respect that these teams deserve, because they've all got different attributes in the way of different playing. But our focus will be on Wigan Athletic Football Club and what we can do. We'll respect the opposition. We won't fear them. We want to go toe-to-toe with them. But ultimately, we'll give the lads what we need to give on them. I'm sure they'll do the same, but more importantly, it's about what we do. And Conor will want to put his own stamp on it. They've got some terrific players. And they're probably in a false position of where they should be. But again, you know, things happen in football, things change, and you know, we've got to focus on us, but I know that they're going to be a threat in both boxes, and we've got to make sure that we deal with that.
And your first home game in charge, are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm excited, to be fair. It's obviously the nerves will come in tomorrow, as I said, and then driving to the ground with my family on Saturday afternoon. It'll be a proud moment for me, yeah, to be standing there, especially at home, at the stadium in front of our own fans, and you know, me representing Wigan Athletic Football Club as the head coach and giving everything we possibly can to get a few more wins, and then to hopefully take the club on a journey. And
2 big games coming up, you know, it's a great start for you personally and the boys, isn't it, after the international break?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, they're all big games. It doesn't matter whether you're playing teams down the bottom or teams around you, or teams at the top. You know, I make sure that we tell the lads that they're all big games. You know, just the next one, and the next one's Barnsley. We'll take care of that, and then we'll move on to the next one. But they're all big games, exciting. I do want to get, you know, as many points on the board as we possibly can, and then we'll take it from there.
Just finally, obviously devastating news about Darren Holm recently, and how important is it that the lads go out there on Saturday and put a performance in for him as well as everyone else? Yeah,
it's massive. You know, puts things into perspective. So you know, it's a sad situation. He's obviously laid to rest in peace now, and you know, all our thoughts are with him and his family especially. And we'll hopefully, you know, pay him back the weekend with a good performance and hopefully a positive win. Because he was obviously one of our own, and when one of our own are not here no more, we try and make sure we do them proud.